Hey everyone, I'm going to show you guys how I glue my papyrus. If you're just tuning in, I'm just going to wait about 30 seconds for everybody to come in. I'm showing you how I glue my papyrus sheets so you guys can see how it's done. If you want to do it yourself as well, you want to look, you can see the papyrus is pretty thick. It's getting thick now. So I'm going to add the sheet. I still have to add 6 more, but I'm going to show you how I add them and how I make them. So, all right, guys, so this is how to make papyrus. So I'm going to post this on my page so you get to see it. So don't worry if you miss any of it. So here's one section. We're going to add a second sheet to it. So what I generally do is I have these Bristol boards. I add one under so it doesn't dirty the table like that. And then what I do is I give it a certain amount of length so I know how far I want to get it, say about there, so I can basically work on it. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll bring it back a little. There you go. You can see that. That's great. What I do is I lay something on top like that so I can get, remember it has to stick on both sides of the paper. They have to clamp together, but both have to be with glue. So we're going to use what we call a Super 7. This is a really strong adhesive bond. And what it does, it glues the paper together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like this. I'll show you guys. You use gloves for this and make sure you use a mask. It's pretty toxic, but I'm not using a mask for this sheet. So I try to give it maybe about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch length. This is going to be the bottom part. That's the next piece going to go on the top. Shake a bottle and spray on it like that. Get a nice thickness. And what I do is I just rub it across like that so I can get the tip to stick so it doesn't flop out from the bottom. And that's it. That's one section. Once you're done that, you take the Bristol board off. You let that dry for about 30 seconds. And then I take I roll it up and I push it back, let that dry for about 30 seconds. Now we bring the second sheet. We pick a sheet that has the same quality to it. So what I'll do is, I already decided which sheet it is. It's going to be this one. So you see that's going to get glued on there. So this sheet I like very much. But what I do also is I cut the tip of it. Because you see it's very flimsy in certain parts. And I don't want that to be the main page because that's how I'm writing, how I'm drawing my pictures. I don't want any of this little stuff. So I'm going to chop it down. I take a ruler like that. Let's see if I can show you guys. You can see it. Let me see if I can turn that camera. Yeah, something like that. So we take that, we try to put it a little bit like this. All right, that's good. And we'll cut it with a blade, just a straight blade, nothing special. So I'll just go like that. Like this. Try to get it nice and straight. And that's it. That's cut. You see, it's nice and clean. Now, sometimes I have this excess section like that. That's okay. What I do is if I go off a little bit and it's not straight, like you see it has a little bit of a weird kink in it, then I'll just straighten it out again because sometimes my hand isn't straight. I'll go like that and just do it over again, just in the section I want. And that's it. That should straighten it up for me. That stuff is not a big deal. It'll come off slowly in itself. Just fold it in down like that. All right, so this is cut. This is straight now. I dump it in the garbage. I don't need this stuff anymore. Now, what do? We have to decide which side we want. Now, you can see this is moving this way. So that means when it gets rolled, it's going to get rolled that way. So I want this to be on top. So I take this now, I flip it over, because this is going to be the bottom end. Now what we do is we do the same thing as before. We take the ruler off and all that stuff. We don't need the blade. Because I don't want to dirty my table. Right? We're going to go like this, and now we're going to glue this end. So what I do is I take another Bristol board, put it on top like that, and kind of estimate how much did I put on this end here. Well, we're going to do the same thing over here so it fits. Shake it up. Shake the can up again. If it doesn't spray because it's not elevated. Yeah, so it's not elevated. So what I usually do if it does that is I take my paper here, I spray on it so it's nice and straight. So you see it sprays a little on there. Rub it around, just kind of lay it out, but it's okay, I don't really need it. I just want it to be able to spray properly. The Super 7, which is a great adhesive. It sticks to both sides. Spray. Well, I'm gonna do this again. There we go. Like that. Just spray down all the way down. Like that. Once it's all the way down like that, then we just go back and forth again. Try to get it at the tips on the very border cut line there. Like that. Try to put as much as you can, cover it properly, and that's it. Once that's done, the two sides have been sprayed on with adhesive. Take off the Bristol boards, you don't need them anymore. This should take about 15 minutes for each one of them. Great, so now what we do is once we're done, both sides have been glued, has been sprayed with glue. Both sides over here, so you can see this one and that one. That's gonna flip on top of the other one. So I'm gonna wait 30 seconds for them to properly dry because when they're wet, they don't bond. So it's important to make sure that it's dry first and then they bond, and it's a very, very tough adhesive. So I can't read your comments, guys, because the camera's facing the other way. So that's it. So we're just gonna wait about 30 seconds. You know, I'll see if I can read your comments. Hey guys, yeah, I can see you there. Bless his BAME. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I see, you mean Jesus. Okay, all right, well, there you go. So that's it. So we're just waiting for this to finish. Once this is done, I'm gonna glue these together right now. So I think that's a good amount of time. 30 seconds has passed. You can see it's pretty sticky. Great. Now comes the process where we begin to glue it together. So let me just get the camera turned a little so you guys can see it here. All right, so now we're gonna glue it. What we do is we take the sheets, we flip it over, right? It's flipped over. This bottom part here, this area has to glue on there. You line it up. You come and you try to line it up. Kind of get it as straight, but I could see the line from the spray because of the shadow. So I have my techniques. I take it, I try to find the line. Perfect, it's right there. That line is right there. Done. Now you put it like that, and you go from one end to the other, not between one end to the other. So one down or one up so you don't crush it up. Oh, like that, and it sticks. It's a nice tight bond. And then all these little empty spaces at the bottom, I just try to push them in so they could tighten up. And that's it. There you go. It's done. So the papyrus, make sure it's done over here. Yeah, perfect. So you can see now it's bonded, right? It's nicely bonded. See, sometimes you see these little gaps, so that's okay. That's just probably, just needs to be tightened up a little bit. And that's it. Now, if I'll come back to it in the future, if I find it's still doing it, then I'll just put more glue on it. But for now, the next step is, the final step, is to roll it up. See, now it's rolling. As it rolls, you're gonna look at the back side. Now you see the back side, it's got these little, so you try to force those down as well, right? You can see a little, okay, they're not that bad. Some of them, they may need a little glue, but I could do that a little later. It's not a big deal because I want to continue finishing my project. But that's it, guys. The papyrus is finished, right? This sheet has been added, and we'll just keep rolling it now. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, bring it back, and then do the next step. Same thing, just repeat. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. That's how I paste 2 papyrus sheets together. If you want to know, again, it's the Super 7 can. You can get that from any store. It's really good bonding adhesive. Just let it dry. Don't spray before it's done. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll post this so you guys can see the whole video. Thanks, guys.